If you guys watched this video in 2019,
you are bi. I'm actually not bisexual.
Yeah, that was a lie. This is my coming out video. I actually did a post about this already on my Instagram and my TikTok, so it's honestly not news. Like, I've been out for like a month or two already, but I haven't done a proper sit down talk about it video. So for those that didn't know about it, yeah, I'm bisexual and I've been dating a girl for the past 3.5 years. I just remember filming that video, I was like, this bitch lying. Like, I knew deep down that I was a bit confused, but I just chose not to speak the truth because I knew my family was watching my YouTube, and I don't think I would ever bring something up on social media before I've already, like processed it and spoken about it in my real life. I literally got a girlfriend like a month after that. Some backstory. I've been dating my girl for the past 3.5 years, and like, we've been living normally. Like, we have been dating publicly, and we can hold hands in public, and all my friends know, all her friends know. Like, I wouldn't even say like I've come out in that sense. Like, I've just been living normally, like, I've just had a very easy time coming to terms with my own sexuality. Like, for me, like, I have so supportive friends, and I knew that it wouldn't matter who I dated or who I had feelings for, they would be accepting regardless. And therefore, I wouldn't really call it I had a coming out when I started dating my girl. We just started dating and everyone was chill with it. But the only reason why I decided not to be out with it is because of my parents or my family. And I guess that's the hard part in this whole coming out, which I know a lot of people in the LGBTQ community can experience, and that was definitely the case for me. I knew that my parents would have different reactions, so for the past 3-4 years I just haven't told them anything. And honestly, my family, we're like, when it comes to my parents, we're not really close in that sense where we talk about stuff and share each other's lives with each other. Like, I don't really just feel comfortable. I don't know, they haven't provided a comfortable space for me to be able to talk about my issues and my daily life with them. So for my entire life, I've never really just like shared anything about whom I dated or what I do and that kind of stuff. But my siblings knew, my cousins knew, like, we're close and we can talk about this stuff. Yeah, I guess like why I decided to come out this summer was because of a wedding that I went to. It was my childhood friend that got married in Greece. And I have a lot of love and respect for her family and our childhood friends. Like, I know all of their families and they would all be there at the wedding. And I was also bringing my girlfriend to the wedding. And I knew that I wanted to be honest about my relationship. Like, I wouldn't just bring my girlfriend to a wedding and then be like, this is my friend, Like, we've been dating for so long, so I feel we are very comfortable in our relationship. And I feel like I just wanted to be honest, both to her and to the people that I met there, that this was my partner. One of my childhood friends, like, her family are a bit more on the conservative side, and I have a lot of love and respect for them. Like, they've known me since I was 10 years old, and I just wanted to be truthful when I met them. And luckily, honestly, my friend had already told them about my relationship, so it didn't come as a shock when I introduced my girlfriend to them. But I will admit that I had some anxiety because it's different when it's like adults, like adults that could be like your parents, you know what I mean? So when I introduced them to my girlfriend, it just felt like such a relief. And for the first time, I was like, okay, maybe I should actually tell my parents. Like, this actually felt good. And like, for a long time, ever since I became an adult and independent, I've never really felt the need to have my family's approval for anything, because I'm very independent and our relationship is not like many other families where you rely on each other. And I think just for me, I've just gotten so used to having this, I'm an independent woman, I don't need anyone type of mentality. But I just wanted to live my truth, basically. So after I came home from the wedding, I decided that I'm just gonna come out to my parents. And it was I was just like, let's go, let's fucking do it. And I knew that there would be mixed reactions because we've had like hypothetical discussions before with both my dad and my mom, like, what would happen if one of your children were gay? And my mom would always answer with a joke like, ha ha ha, I would disown you, but you know, brush it off. And then we just like, ooh, let's just be quiet about this. And then my dad, he's always been like, well, regardless of who you love, I will always love you, like that type of mentality. But I don't know, I was just like, I think my dad will take it better and I think my mom won't. So I kind of had that prepared. But like, my parents are divorced, by the way. They divorced when I was 4. So they live separately, and my dad lives in another city and my mother lives in Stockholm. But for the past like 1-2 years, my relationship with my mother has actually been very strained. So we don't really talk at all. Like, we don't have contact. And I kind of just like showed up to her house and was like, you know, we hadn't spoken for like almost a year. And then we just had a little chat about how life has been, I guess. And then before I left, I just like, you know, like how I'm gonna say this. So I just started with like, I have something to tell you. And then she got very like tense. And I told her that I have a girlfriend. She just turned quiet. And so I was like, is there like, how's your reaction? Like, do you have anything you want to say to me? Like, what are you feeling? But as she was just quiet, she started crying. And she just said something in the style of, it doesn't matter what I tell you because we just end up fighting. And I don't know, she was just silent. And then she said like, well, as long as you're happy. But she said the words, as long as you're happy. But then her actions were just like, she started getting very stressed and emotional and she started crying. And I was like, okay, well, it doesn't look like you're happy for my sake. And then it just ended up with us having a huge fight. And it honestly wasn't even about my sexuality. It was just about all the baggage that we've had for like all these years, and also the reason why we're not in contact. And it kind of ended up with her just being like, I'm not your mother, I'm dead to you, like in the future, don't address me as your mom, blah blah blah. I mean, that sucked. So I just took my shit and I exited the house. Wow, I didn't think that I would get emotional talking about this. Wow, I really just thought this was gonna be like good vibes video. Bitch, I'm gay, that type of vibe, but no! I guess it's just different when you kind of like talk about it to a larger audience. I really have come to terms with how my family is and like the state of my family. And I don't think just because she birthed me that she will be able to make me feel loved and happy. I don't think that it's gonna be easy for me to have a relationship with my mom at all. Like, she's narcissistic and like our personalities clash, and I can't have a family member that keeps belittling me and, you know, expresses her disappointment, although I'm textbook good daughter, you know what I mean? I don't think I can strive for her approval, or it takes two in a relationship, and I feel like I've put a lot of effort into it, and she might disagree, but it's the truth, and I don't agree with how she has treated me or my siblings. So if she can't be happy for my relationship and a person I've chosen to love, I will not choose to have her in my life. Because I'm a strong believer of being able to choose your family. I don't think just because a person birthed you that it will mean I will give unconditional love to that person. Love and affection is something you have to work for, and it has to be mutual, and it can't be based off of respect instilled by fear. So I'm fine. Or like, obviously I'll always have mom issues. I just have to come to terms with you can't have everything in life. And I choose to have happiness and love and not a broken relationship. when it comes to family. So that was how it went coming out to my mom. Wow, I really just thought this would be a quick video, a quick update on my life. But here I am. On a happier note, I went to my dad's place the 2 days after coming out to my mom, and we had a good time. Like, I was with my siblings, my cousin, and my girlfriend was also there. But they went home earlier and I just stayed with my little sister. So we were having a talk about, you know, life update, and my stepmother was there as well, and my little brother. And we talked about how life has been, how the family sitch is, and it was very difficult telling my dad because I think after experiencing like the reaction from my mom, I think even though I kind of knew like my dad would be more understanding, because I also know like my dad has a lot of love for us and we've never lived together. He's always had this kind of like, I'm gonna be the fun parent, you know what I mean? When I was a bit younger, I kind of like became this like angsty young adult, you know, like we could clash a lot, but then I think it was just me also being very irritated at my parents, and I just like took that out on them. Now I feel like it's much better, and I mean, we can have our disagreements, but we can also come to terms that we are different people, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, somehow I kind of knew that he would take it better than my mom, because I guess he has more to lose. Like, we've never really lived together and he lives in another city, and it's this easy to like cut each other out of our lives because like I'm not dependent on anyone in my family, and if he were to not accept me, that would mean he would just lose his only daughter. I remember I was being very emotional because we were talking about just everything that's been going on. I was like full on tears when I told him and my stepmom. But when I eventually told him like I have a girlfriend, and he instantly knew because I guess he had his suspicions as well, and his reaction was more like, why haven't you told me sooner? That he knew, but he just wanted to wait for me to come to him and tell him about it. They were very like, we love you. They were talking about like how they love me and like doesn't matter who I choose to be with. And I think they said something in the style of like, of course they're sad because I think they're thinking like children, I don't know, like grandchildren. But honestly, I don't see an issue with me dating a woman that I can't have children in the future. So that's really not a problem. I've never seen that as an obstacle, honestly. There are so many ways we can still have children if that's what they're thinking. But in the end, they're still traditional Vietnamese people, and even though they're not as progressive as like Western folk, they're more progressive than most Vietnamese people. So for that, I'm appreciative. My dad went up and hugged me and just said that he loves me. I think that's the first time I've had like a proper approval from my parents, like where it's not a fight, it's just understanding, it's just love. It was just easy, no? Which is rare. This is bad bitch tears, okay? Like for the first time in my life, telling a parent about a big decision or a big change in my life that was met with approval and not anger and fights and screaming, yelling. Is this how it feels to have like a parent's approval? As I said, I've never really spoken much to my parents about anything in my life. Like, I've just kept to myself, you know, relied on my chosen family, which is my friends. And that's amazing too. Like, I'm so blessed to have amazing friends, amazing supportive system. And I think it just meant a lot for me to have positive approval from a family member. I remember I did a video like similar, talking about childhood trauma, and after that video, like shit went loose. Like me and my mom, we started fighting so much, and she felt so attacked. And honestly, if she sees this video and gets pressed because of her own ego, I don't even care anymore. I just feel like I have nothing to gain from that anger, and I don't want to live with just that much negativity. So this is just me living my truth and being honest and being happy, and I will not be hesitant to cut off anything that just gives me sadness and anxiety and all of that. Fuck that bullshit. After telling my dad, I stayed there for like 2 more days, and we were just doing like activities. Like I went swimming with my brother and sister, and we played soccer and did barbecue, and you know, like it was as if nothing had happened, and I felt so grateful for that. It just felt normal. After that whole family sitch, I posted this post on Instagram, and I mean, not that I expected anything else, but you guys were so supportive, and that really meant a lot. And I even got like a text from my aunt that was just like the sweetest text ever. Like, we've never texted ever. Like, she just sent me this after seeing my post, and it was just so much love. I started crying because I was so happy that she was supportive. Yeah, that was that was my coming out story. I did not think that this would be an emotional video. Oh my god, I was just like prepping for my makeup, you know, fixing all my shit, and I was like, let's film this video. And I was gonna introduce my girlfriend in this video, but I think I have to do a part 2 because this video got so long. I didn't think the coming out part would take this much space or time. I feel honestly like I've accepted the outcome of the coming out in all ways possible, and I'm very happy where I'm at. I feel like despite getting disowned by my mother, and like honestly, I don't even know if it was a disowning or if it's me walking out, you know, because I literally just like slammed the door when I went out and just didn't look back. I feel so much better just being honest, and like if I want to post something on my story, I don't have to be afraid of my family seeing my girlfriend or whatever. And like I'm happy, and like I feel like our love just grew more after coming out. That just gives me a lot more comfort, and I'll take that any day than having bullshit in my life, you know what I mean? I just hope that you guys will feel like this is a safe space where we provide support and community. I guess I'll do a part 2 of this because I wanted to introduce my girlfriend. I'll post this first, and the next video will be a video about my relationship with my girlfriend. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made us this far, really appreciate you guys. So yeah, bye.